The Bible states that in the last day, a man's enemies would be of his own household. There is a tremendous philosophical point of view that has been adapted and employed against the family in North America. It is a philosophy that has been perpetuated for centuries. It is the philosophy of Prince Machiavelli, a political philosophy that teaches the dynamic strategies of social engineering, a philosophy that has taught politicians, rulers, and principalities for centuries how to control the people. Control the people by controlling the minds involved in the family unit. Divide and conquer. If you can create a binary situation, an extreme of two parts, for example, black and white, feminism and masculinity, and demonize one part of it. Demonize masculinity as opposed to femininity, and you create your divide. Now, for what purpose, the question may become, is the divide necessary? What is the objective? I humbly submit to you that in part the objective is to control population. If you can control the reproduction of the family unit, you can control the population. To control the family unit, you need to control the woman. You need to give her something that she desires other than family. Career, for example. If you can get her to idolize her career, then she would come to understand that the family on one hand and the career on the other may be diametrically opposed one to the other. And if you can feed her that narrative, continue to create that dialogue in the media, then she will become a willing puppet toward her own destruction, toward the destruction of her own family. The strategy that is used by these Machiavellian-oriented principalities is very effective because you're creating a victim and causing her to work against her own interests, and she's unaware of it.
As a strong public figure and a woman, what is your stance on modern day feminism?
On what?
Modern day feminism.
It's failed women.
Uh-oh.
Miserable. They are fighting a cause that is detrimental to the life of the unborn and to young women, and it puts them on a wrong path. The feminists are wrong. They got it. All the evidence is out there. There's a reason why 40, 50-year-old single women are desperately trying to get pregnant. All right? There's a reason. All the joys and wonders of that world, that employment world, and careers didn't seem to quite satisfy their true needs. All right? They have screwed up their lives. I have story after story, and I'll tell you at lunch one or two of them.
Now you're beginning to depopulate the world, and you can estimate in about 30 years your new population. See, right now in the West, most women at 30 years old have not had a child. 75% of black women will never be married. A percentage of those sons that are born out of wedlock, a great percentage, would die to violence or would be in prison. Population control. There's multifarious means of controlling a population. As I've mentioned before, you don't need to create genocide. It's too obvious. Politically unacceptable, socially repugnant. But if these powers and principalities maintain their strategy, they will create the voters that they want in the future. In order to be effective, they need to destroy your home. To destroy your home, they need to divide and conquer. To divide and conquer, they need the cooperation of the woman. Why the woman? I've said it before. In order to control the womb. If you control the womb, you control procreation. If you can convince her that there's something greater than the family to which she can commit herself, like a career, then you will create an idol. But what they won't do, don't tell her what life is going to be at 40 and 45 years old. When she looks back and sees she doesn't have a child. When she begins to break down. There's a reason that the suicide rate among women has increased some 30% in the last 15 years. Well, what has taken place in the last 15 years? Take a look at it. Do your research. See where women were with feminism 15 years ago and see where it is today. See what has exploited it. See what has happened to the family. And what I'm saying to you, men, protect your family. See, according to Sun Tzu Warrior, it's better to capture a people than to destroy them. If you capture them, you can use them toward their own destruction. That has been historically valuable since the beginning of time. What is another means of dividing and conquering? Take a look at everything that is masculine and demonize it. For example, aggression. If the powers that be, with their media influence, and they have tremendously powerful media influence, can convince the people that aggression leads to violence. If they can distort the concept of aggression and replace it with violence, then they can win the cooperation of the people, because obviously no one wants violence. But the lie in that is that people fail to understand that aggression is natural. The very process of being born is tremendously aggressive. Every creative idea is aggressive. Every form of art is aggressive. Take a page from nature. In the animal kingdom, we see that aggression is used to prevent violence, not to create it. A lion roars to make it known that an intruder is coming into its territory. He's doing it to prevent violence. A bull bows its head and digs into the dirt to make the intruder know that he's going too far. A dog scratches in the dirt, digs, and growls to let an intruder know that's enough, back off. And in this animal kingdom, you only see violence when it is necessary to protect the young or to kill to eat. Otherwise, aggression is used to prevent violence. Now, if the powers that be can convince women that masculinity and aggression is bad, demonic, then they can get her to lose respect for men. If they can get her to believe that there's no difference in male and female biology, they can make her angry with God for making her that way. If they can get her to believe in this artificial binary illusion, this illusion that masculinity is greater than femininity, they can get her to pursue masculinity in an attempt to impose it upon herself and hate it in men. If you can get her to that point, she will not procreate. It doesn't matter if she wakes up to the reality of this when she's beyond childbearing years, because there's not much she can do about it. And she will resent men for the fact that she has not had children. And therefore, the Machiavellian powers of the world can control the population, introduce artificial intelligence, no longer need people in the factories, and make a whole lot more money and control the world and control the voters. People, you better wake up while you can. It's Barry Hamdani, the relationship messenger. May God bless you.